Are you new to beveling? Does it look like a cat's been chewing on your project after you're done beveling? Do you not know which end of the mallet to hold? Well, have I got a deal for you. In this video, we're going to show you how to be the star of your next guild meeting. They're going to marvel at your magnificent beveling mastery. All for the low price of a few minutes of your time.
All right, so that might have been a little over the top, but does beveling frustrate you? I think it's second only to the skiving blade, maybe the swivel knife. Either way, it's pretty frustrating. Stick around, I'm going to show you how to fix your beveling mistakes. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Reach. This is Weaver Leather Supply, and you might know me from my YouTube channel, the Leatherverse, or maybe some of my artwork like Dreams of Dragonfire or the Eagle. This is going to be the first in a series of videos that Weaver's asked me to do, and it's all focused on tooling and airbrushing. So at the end of this video, if it's something that you found helpful, if you want to see more like this, let us know by giving us a thumbs up. That tells Weaver and YouTube that this is the kind of content that you want to see. But no freebies here. Wait until the video's over, wait till you've watched the whole thing, then click that thumbs up. Now, let's go ahead and jump in and see if we can fix those frustrating beveling mistakes that annoy all of us in the beginning. So mistake number one is leather that is too wet or too dry. Now this one's obviously too wet. You can look at the two of them. This one's too wet. A general rule that I use is that it should take about 1 to 2 seconds for the moisture to absorb into the leather. If it's absorbing faster than that, then it's too dry. If it's taking longer than that, then you know you get into a saturation level. Mistake number two, moving too fast. So I know we all want to rush through the beveling because it's not the most exciting part of the project, but this little tool right here will make you regret it if you don't take your time. Eventually you'll get a feel for it, but slower is better, especially in the beginning. And by slower, I mean that your strikes should overlap by at least 50%, if not more. My rule is that the maul or the mallet that you're working with should be moving twice as fast as your bevel is. If you feel like your bevel's moving faster than your maul, as in you're moving, you're going tack, tack, tack. Well, that's a bad sign. So you want pop, 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 and a nice slow movement, lots of overlap. Make sure you stick around to the end because we're gonna have a bonus tip for you. Mistake number three, going with too small of a bevel before you're ready for it. Now with beveling, it's all about that overlap. That's how we get that consistent, smooth bevel. Well, let's say that you're overlapping 10 or 20%. Well, if you go to a smaller bevel, you may not be overlapping at all. And in that instance, you probably want to stick with the larger bevel just because it's a little bit more forgiving. And as time goes on, you get more confident with your bevel, then you can step down to the smaller ones. The wider bevel is going to be more forgiving on how fast you're moving and how much you're overlapping. The downside to it is that it doesn't fit into those tight little areas. So my suggestion to you is to stick with the wider one in the areas that you can. Go with the widest footprint that you can. And then when you get down to the tighter small areas, then switch over to the smaller bevel. Mistake number four is incorrect orientation of the bevel. Now, just like an airplane, a bevel has 3 axes of orientation. Is that the right way to say that? Anyway, so if this is your bevel, you want it pointing straight at the line. If you're rotated to one side or the other, well, that's a problem. If you're leaning one side or the other, that's a problem. If you lean it up on its toe, now we're good. You can get a crisper, shallower line, a deeper line by leaning it forward. If you lean it back, you're going to get a wider shadow, but it's going to be softer. What you don't want to do is rotate right, left, or lean right or left. So if you're seeing any of these mistakes in your beveling, go back and watch the video again, make some minor adjustments until you get the look and the effect that you're going for. And make sure you don't miss our next video. We're going to make this pirate journal. And I know it looks complicated. I promise you this is a beginner to intermediate project. If you can work a swivel knife and a bevel, you can do this. I'll walk you through it step by step. Now for that bonus tip we talked about. Not all bevels create the same effect. They're not all designed to do the same thing. In general, you have 3 different types of bevels. You have a traditional, a steep, and an extra steep. A traditional bevel is almost flat, where a steep is about a 45 and an extra steep is just off of 90. The extra steep essentially creates a line where the traditional creates a shadow. It's used for shading. If you don't have a steep or an extra steep, you can take that traditional and you can rock it up on its toe and to a small extent, you can get the same effect that you would get from a steep or extra steep. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, go make something amazing.